Guys, it's SimLicy here. Today I have for you guys another Halloween inspired video. This time it is a little costume shop boutique. Hopefully you guys like it. I had a lot of fun building it. I think it ended up really looking like a haunted house, which is what I wanted, because I had imagined that whoever owns this store would, have found like this creepy house and was like, oh, this would be a perfect place to sell my costumes. So that's what I was thinking. I put it in downtown Windenburg, which I feel like, haunted houses and kind of this style of build in general looks better in Windenburg because it doesn't clash too much with the Tudor style. I think it suits it the best, and I think the landscaping and the trees like around the town also suit it as well. So this is where I put it. I mean, obviously if you decide to download this off the gallery, you can place it in whatever town you would like to, or whatever worlds you would like to, but that's what I was thinking suited it the best. And so now I'm just going around putting some windows on here. I grabbed these square windows and I ended up going back and replacing them with a window of the same size, as you'll see in just a couple of seconds, because I realized they didn't match the rest of the windows I already had on the house, and I wanted them to match because I thought that looked better. And for the style of building, it's more traditional looking, and I just imagine they would have matched. And here I'm just putting the sign up on the front, and I sized up those wall hanging spiders, and I think that looked pretty cool and gave it a nice effect for what I was looking for. There's a few things I left in this build that I wasn't sure if I should have, like as you'll see right now, the chimneys were awful. I had such a problem with them. If you know what I was doing wrong, please let me know. It's probably because I was sizing them up and had to move objects on, and I was completely messing with them, but I still felt like they should recognize that the roof was there and snap to them. But they didn't, so I don't end up putting them in the front like I had wanted to. They snapped a little bit easier to the back. So that's where they end up in the end, and I think it still looks alright, and I'm happy with it anyways. But so yeah, you'll see me mess with that a little bit. And I think I'll do one more Halloween video probably next week sometime, and then in the beginning of October on the 6th, of course, because I'm part of the giant spooky group collaboration that Rory Plays The Sims put together. So that'll be lots of fun. I'm really looking forward to that, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do a couple Halloween videos before that, is just to get inspiration and learn how I want things to look in The Sims 4 as far as Halloween goes, because I bought this game in January, so I missed Halloween. I did buy the pack right away, so I have had it a long time, but I haven't had much of an opportunity to use everything except for the wood textures are awesome. So I've used the flooring and the wood wallpaper quite a bit, but haven't used like the spiders that much, or the cobwebs I think at all, or any of this furniture. So just kind of going through things and getting an idea what's there and how they all look together. And I like it. It's a really cool pack, so if you don't have it and thinking about getting it, I would get it. I think it's one of the cheaper ones. I think it's like, a $10 pack. And I hope they come out with more holiday themed game packs, like some more Christmas items I think would be really cool. And if they do, maybe ice skating? ? Ice skating, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day because I want to do kind of a similar thing when Christmas comes. I want to do, just several Christmas builds, and I think ice skating would be like the cutest thing ever to come to The Sims 4. But who knows if they'll ever do that. Maybe it would come with a season thing. I'm not sure. But here I'm putting some chimneys in the basement, so when the fireplace is going, it creates fog up above. As you can notice right here, I put like way too many, and it looks like the place is an inferno. It looks like it's just gonna burn down. So I go and I get rid of the fireplace, the smoke goes away, and then I go back and clear out a lot of the chimneys later on in the video to so there's not so overpowering. And I think I left the right amount, because it still gives the look that I was wanting to give without looking like the place is gonna burn down. And I have to admit, it wasn't my idea. I saw it on the gallery from somebody else a long time ago. I don't remember who it was. Otherwise, I would, you know, put all their information in the description so you could download their builds. But whoever you are, you're awesome. That's a really smart idea, and thank you for inspiring me to do it in my video. So if you want to build a haunted house and aren't like happy with the way it looks and want to give it a more spooky look, I would recommend putting chimneys in the basement, because it really does give that kind of foggy look that I associate with haunted houses. Like, I always imagine them to be overrun with fog. I don't know if other people think that, but it's probably just been drilled in my head from, you know, different, you know, horror movies or Halloween type movies that I've watched growing up. But so that's what I did. Hopefully you guys like it. I do. And sorry that my voice is a little bit scratchy. It's pretty it's starting to cool down here, and it's all dry, and it's affecting my throat. I don't think I'm sick, but it's still making it kind of irritated and dry. But hopefully it clears up soon. I've been drinking lots of tea and with honey in it to try to clear it up. Oh, another thing that I left in that I wasn't sure if I should was dressing the mannequins. And it's kind of the same idea I had with the chimney. I left it in because it's part of the way the build works. And I don't know, when I watch other people do their videos, I'm happy when they leave, you know, everything in that they can, because it's cool to see all the different parts of, you know, what goes into making it and how they came to, you know, the final outcome. So that's what I did. And I don't end up leaving the cash register right there, because just for realism purposes, like right now I don't have the fireplace there, but because I kind of forgot about it for a second, but I end up putting the fireplace right where that table is. And then I was thinking, well, that wouldn't, you know, make much sense, because whoever was running the cash register or working at the store would probably burn themselves on it, or it would be way too warm to stand right there. So later on you'll see I'll rearrange it a little bit. But on Twitter I did say that this video was going to be up yesterday, but unfortunately I recorded like the whole voiceover. I edited the video, got ready to do the voiceover, and recorded the whole thing, and did not have my microphone turned on, so it was completely silent. And that's really unfortunate, because I'm, you know, still learning quite a bit how, you know, what to talk about during the, you know, during the videos, and not to sound completely awkward. And I did it. I talked for a full 16 minutes nonstop, and I felt really good about it, and went to go check to make sure everything was okay, and it wasn't there. So that's too bad, but you know, I guess that's all part of learning. And it wasn't a total loss, because each time I, you know, talk during a build, I learn a little bit more about what to say and how to be more comfortable with it. And so it was just practice, I guess. But yeah, so I think here is when I come back to it and I rearrange it a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking for a smaller table to put the cash register on. Oh, and then I found those pumpkin carving stations, which I have not used yet, but I'll definitely probably be using soon in just my regular gameplay, to have some my Sims that I am playing with right now have a pretty traditional house, and they have a nice front porch, and I think it'd be cute to have them carve some pumpkins and put them up on the front porch. So I'll probably just do that in my spare time for some fun. And I hope you guys like what I did with the fence right there. I think it gave it like an effect that the gate was open. I didn't want to put an actual gate on the fence, because I didn't want it to block the entryway. And sometimes I have some issues with the, you know, using certain fences with certain gates, like they don't necessarily look that great together. So like it's like some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger, and I think this ended up looking a lot better. And I also made it nice and overgrown and put some tombstones and black statues and stuff in the yard. And I wasn't sure if I should add a lot of flowers. I ended up putting some like dark flower bushes in the like around the house, and I think that not the house. I keep calling it a house, but it's a shop, it's a store. And I put a few of the dark flower bushes, and I think that was appropriate and gave it just enough to where it gave it some color, but didn't look like it was manicured. And also those tombstones are pretty cool. I didn't realize that they had fog that came out of them as well, so that gave it some extra fog to the build, which looked pretty cool. I also wanted to make the outside a little bit brighter, more lit up at night, and so I ended up going into the attic and adding some lights. And I also go through and change the color of all of the lights in the build that you'll see like at the very end. And I've seen other people do this before in their Halloween builds, and I think that with the fog on the outside really completes it. I think it kind of gives it like the right haunted look just by having like, what do you call it, like purple hue or orange hue or green hue to the color. Like if there's anything, like if there is such a thing as like a spooky color, that's what they are. They're spooky colors. Oh, I guess I didn't change this before. Now I'm changing that where I moved the cash register, and I think this ends up looking the best in the end because then I was able to put a few chairs in front of the fireplace, and I think it just like flowed nicer and ends up looking a lot better this way. And then I was able to put a little vending machine behind the counter, so if you have your sim run the shop, if they get hungry, then they will have something to eat, as well as your customers. And I think when I've owned shops before, it's easier to have your sims stay at the shop so they can run it several days in a row without having to travel all the way home. So I think the attic space could easily be used for that. You can put some stairs, somewhere for them to be able to get up there. And so that's what I would probably do if I decided to play this in my game as someone who owns the shop and runs it themselves, which I think would work out pretty well. So I was just adding some more bushes there to, or not bushes, but that overgrown grass, because I wanted it to, really have that overgrown look, like as spooky as possible. And I think it worked out in the end. And those spiders are so cool. I didn't realize how many different recolors there were for them. Like here in just a few seconds, I think I discovered that blue. It's like, I was like, wow, that's really blue, and I think it looks pretty cool. So I went through and made a few more of them blue as well. So now I'm going into Create a Sim, just doing a few costumes. I thought I was dressing the boy mannequins right here, and so they're all kind of very boyish, but I go back after I realized it and go back and give a more girly one, so there's both options for little kids. Because I mean, if you're little Sims or anything like me when I was little, you would go for the more boy looking costumes, but not everybody is a little tomboy when they're a little girl and they want to maybe dress up as a princess for Halloween. So I do go back and change that. And I only do a few costumes for the children mannequins because they're all pretty much the same. Like there's not really that many different options I felt for Halloween costumes. I mean, there is the hot dog one that I didn't use in the bear, but I thought they were a little bit too silly for the look I was going for. I thought that the headless horseman and the pirate were a little bit better, for what I was looking for anyways. Oh, and I also used Yoda there too. But I think all of both the male and female adult mannequins, I did give them all 5 costumes because there's lots more to choose from as far as like kind of scary looking, because you have the Grim Reaper costume, and then you have the ninja and the pirate, and just a little bit more. I thought about using this pink skeleton jumper, but I felt like it needed something for its head, like to complete it, and unfortunately you can't do any face paint because I think the kind of skeleton face paint would have worked perfect with it. But that would be something for the Sims, I think, to add to the game, is being able to set makeup or face paint with the mannequins, as well as your restaurants, because I was thinking being able to make, like if you did like a Halloween inspired restaurant, which is something I want to do, making your staff wear face paint would, I don't know, I think it would really complete the whole haunted look, like if you had like a scary face. I don't know, but that'd be something I would want the Sims to add as part of the, you know, setting the outfits for your staff and for the mannequins. But if they don't, they don't. But if they do, that would be really cool. But before I forget, speaking of new stuff, the Sims 4 new expansion pack is coming out November 1st, and I bet you are all just as excited as I am, because come November 1st, nobody talk to me. I'm gonna clear my schedule. I'm gonna play The Sims all day. I am in college, but 4 of my classes are online, and I'm only taking 1 at the university, so I think I'll be able to organize my schedule enough to be able to, you know, play The Sims all day. I know there's lots of controversy around not being able to build the apartments, but I think, from my understanding, as I was reading on Twitter, you can customize them pretty much any way you want to. You just can't construct the outside of the building, which I am pretty, you know, disappointed about. But I'm sure there's some technical game programming reason to why they didn't add it, because they're plenty aware that people love to build and would have added it if they could. And I don't think they would not add it intentionally just to make their lives easier, as lots of people were saying. So lots of people are upset, and I understand. I'm not thrilled about it either, but I'm still, you know, really looking forward to the expansion pack, and can't wait to play it. And I think it's gonna be so much fun. Oh, I was just hanging a couple more of those photos up on the wall, those spooky stuff pack pictures, and I had never seen them change before until I went to go do the screenshots. So that's really cool. If you have never seen those, them changed into their creepy faces before, you'll see those in the screenshots. And here's where I add the lights inside the attic to give a little bit more of a haunted look to the build. And then I go in and change the colors, not after or just here in a little bit, and finally get the, you know, the chimneys situated the way I want. I could have left them there, but I didn't, because when I go and do the wallpaper, it does delete them for a second, and or it doesn't delete them for a second, it just deletes them. And I decided not to put them back. I just put them in the back because it snapped there a little bit easier, and just was tired of messing with them, so that's where I left them. And but yeah, so there is screenshots coming up here pretty soon, and I hope that you guys like this build, and hopefully it looks haunted to you, because it looks haunted to me, and I really like it. But yeah, so if you like this, please comment, like, subscribe, or whatever. Leave suggestions or any ideas you have in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye!